Morning, everyone. Sorry, I told you to join early because I have to go to college and I don't know network is there or no. My mobile network, as you know, doesn't work in college and college doesn't have internet facility. So we will see if in college, if the network facility is there, then I can take from there and I can tell you timing before only. Till then, what I'll do before college or after college, I'll try to take your class. Okay. So shall I start? So last class, do you remember till where we have completed? We had started with logical design in IoT. Okay. And in that, what we have done? We have completed IoT, what functional block and IoT. What we discussed last class?
Communication model.
Yeah, IoT communication model. Okay. Today in this class, we'll continue with the logical design in IoT. That is IoT communication API we will study. Okay. In that two APIs are there, RESTful and WebSocket. Today we will discuss only REST based API. Tomorrow we'll see WebSocket. Okay. So let's start. If it is visible, right? So again, we will be continuing your first unit today in that session 7. Okay. So that is on IoT communication API. So can anyone tell what is this API stands for? You have used many APIs no, in web. Yes. Can anyone tell? Yes. Different APIs are there. What does API stands for? It is
Application Programming Interface.
Yeah, it is application programming interface. So for IoT communication API, we have two APIs. One is REST based, another is WebSocket. This REST based is connectionless, whereas WebSocket is connection oriented. So using that, okay, in functional block, you had studied something called web services, right? So using this API, okay, not only with the REST or WebSocket, using this transport protocol like HTTP and all, sorry, other protocols like HTTP, we can combine and make a web service for IoT. So we'll see it in detail. So IoT, as I said, today we'll be dealing with IoT communication API in that REST based and WebSocket. Okay. So today we'll be studying only REST based communication API. As it is very important question, 10 marks will come. So we will deal only with this. Okay. So let's see what is API. As you told, it is application programming interface. Okay. And what it does, it will help to connect the things of IoT. See, only things are there in IoT, it's not enough. We have to have communication between them. For that communication, we have IoT protocol and we will use communication API, web services, all those things. Okay. So two communication APIs are there, REST-based communication API and WebSocket-based communication API. REST-based is connectionless, WebSocket is connection-oriented. Okay. So let's see this REST-based communication API in detail. So first of all, remember it stands for representational state transfer. Okay. And it is a set of architectural principle by which we can design web services and web API. In functional model, you had studied no services. Services are used for communication between things in IoT. So for that, we need this representational state transfer, this API, and it is having some architecture principle. How you have OSI reference model and different architecture, like that only REST architecture is there. Okay. And what it focuses on, what is its goal? It focuses on system resources and how resource states are addressed and transferred. This is its goal. It focuses on systems, resource, and it follows which communication model? You studied last class 4 communication model. No? In that, it follows request response model. Do you remember what is this request response model? Yes, there will be a client or there will be a server. So client will request, a server will respond. Client will have very less computational capacity, whereas server will have all the computational facility. So this is about, you just remember REST based communication API helps in web services of IoT. Okay, in functional block we had studied services, no, there we use this REST based communication API. It focuses on system resources. It follows request response communication model. Okay, and it follows some constraints. This REST architecture architecture has some constraints, that also we'll see. Constraints means some conditions. To use it, it follows some conditions. Okay. So before that, we will see how is this architecture look like. This is your REST-based architectural diagram. Okay, and this diagram shows communication with REST API. It has HTTP client, it has HTTP server, okay, and resources. As you have in request response model, you have same thing. Okay, and how is the packet format? See, when we are taking REST aware client, we need the help of HTTP. Okay, what does HTTP stands for? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. REST, to use REST based API, okay, in your this, what is that, in web service in IoT, we cannot use REST alone, we have to take the support of HTTP. Okay, so they're telling, yeah, this is HTTP client, this is HTTP server, we are just using REST API. Okay, since we are using REST API, some conditions are there, some constraints are there, which you will be learning now. Then how the data is transferred in the form of HTTP packet. Okay, so this is what you had studied, HTTP commands, no, get, put, post, delete, all those commands you can use. Plus, apart from HTTP, since we are using REST, REST payload is also added. It will be in the form of JSON or XML. Okay, then it will go to HTTP server. Their authorization is done. Okay, and this both client and server will, apart from HTTP, though their HTTP client and server, since we are using REST API, okay, they will have RESTful web service. This is also REST aware client. This is RESTful web service. And resources also, it will have some files, database, or any other computation programs. All these will be there in REST based API. Just go through this diagram for a minute. Just remember, client server was there as usual. Okay, resources was there. So apart from HTTP client and server, you have REST also here, and also you have HTTP packet. Okay. So some people are telling they're unable to join. Okay, any problem is there in joining the class? No, right? You were able to join, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, some people were messaging, so I asked. Okay, so some constraints are there. So here, see, can you see? 6 constraints are there for this REST architecture. What do you mean by constraint? Conditions. Okay, meaning of constraint is condition. 6 are there. Okay, first is, if you use REST based API, it will follow client server architecture. So what is client server architecture? There will be separation of functionality. Okay, there will be separation of functionality. Okay, so how it will be? Client will have only the functionality to request. Okay, it will not have storage capacity. Okay, it need not worry about storage or this, how the processing is happening. Only client will be having a front end, like it will be having a web browser. It will not have any resources. It should just have the internet connection or network connection to contact with server. All the things it will get from the server. That is client server. That is client server constraint is separation of concern. Client should not be concerned with storage of data. Okay, only server will be worried about storage. Okay, how the user interface should look like. All those. User interface is only the concern of client is user interface. How? Okay, same thing when you are browsing. What you will do? Only you will be having browser and front end. You need not see anything you want to search. Do you worry where is the server, how is the computation, this, etc.? Yes or no? You need not worry. Okay, next is stateless. Okay, so what is this stateless? Each request from client to server must contain all the information necessary to understand the request and cannot take advantage of any stored context on the server. So what do you mean by this? Every time, okay, stateless means every time a client and a server, okay. Just a second, I'm getting a call. Okay, some people are continuously telling they are not able to join. I think you people only have network problem. Okay, so second concern is stateless. Okay, in stateless, what will happen? What do you mean by stateless? Many times I had told you what is stateless. Yes or no? What do you mean by stateless? Yes, if the protocol is stateless, it need not know about the previous request. Every request is independent of previous one. So this REST, since it is connectionless, it is stateless. It need not, every request will be a new request. It will be not dependent on previous. So we cannot tell once maybe this is my client, this is my server. One message this both will send. After that again, next time client has to tell which server specifically. Okay, if it is connection oriented, you need not tell which server, which connection. Whereas if it's stateless, you have to tell. Every request will be independent. Third one is cacheable. Do you remember cache in OS? Yes, what is cache? Cache is nothing but a temporary memory. Okay, so what will happen? Maybe recently I had requested something. Okay, so again next time I request it, it need not go to the server. What will happen? It will just take it. Recently it has used, right? It will be in the cache memory. For example, see, assume I have a client. Okay, then there is a server. Okay, so if what will be there, middle cache will be there. Sometimes you will be not having internet, some pages you can view, right? Because it will be in the cache. So assume I will request a page, okay, from the server will give, then that page will be there in this cache temporarily. Okay, so what will happen next time? Again I want same page, instead of contacting till server, it will get it from cache only. Okay, so in this REST we have also support of cache. Okay, so cache constraint requires the data within the request response be implicitly or explicitly labeled as cacheable or non-cacheable. So some requests will be non-cacheable. We cannot store in the cache. Okay, like bank and all. Bank transaction, will be stored in cache? Session will expire, no? Yes or no? But if any Google page or anything, they'll be cacheable. So once I request, okay, I'll get the response. So temporarily it will be stored in a temporary memory. So next time I don't have internet connection, I can easily take it. Whereas banking, okay, maybe I have logged in your username and password of bank software. Next time I want, again it should tell me enter username and password. It should not cache. Such things are known as non-cacheable. Okay, what will, if it caching is there, it will help in what eliminating some instruction and improve the efficiency. Next comes layered system. Okay, so what is this layered system means? If you use REST based system, your system will be in layers. Okay, what will happen when you have layer system? Your functionality will be divided into the layers. In OSI reference model, how many layers were there? 7 layers were there. So each layer has its own functionality and how each layer was. Each layer was feeling other layer doesn't exist. Okay, so layer system is that. Okay, so that is independently of each other they can work, and each above this what is it, above layer will not know about below layer, just it will encapsulate and send, that will add and send. So that is nothing but layered system. Next, if you use REST API, it should have uniform interface. Okay, that is same method of communication should be there between client and server. You cannot change the communication system. Otherwise, I see now, I am communicating with you. We have a uniform medium of instruction, that is English. Okay, if we did not had, maybe I will teach you in Telugu. and you don't understand in Telugu, and maybe you want to speak in some other language, maybe German or some other, I don't understand. So that would be a problem. Okay, so like that, even the things in your network will communicate with each other, so they should have a uniform interface. They should have unique identity. See how we have unique identity? We are given a name. If you are going to college, you are given a register number, yes or no? So same way, everything has to be followed in IoT system. Uniform interface will be there, URI will be there, etc. Next, code on demand. Server can provide executable code or script for clients to execute in their context. What will happen sometimes? Okay, client is unable to connect to server. That time client can tell, you give me the code, I'll only execute the scripts and get what I want. So it can, if you are using REST, server can give you executable code or scripts on demand. Okay, but this constraint is optional. Okay, if I am the client, I am using web browser and I'm unable to connect to bank server, I cannot go and ask, no, SBI bank, give me your code, I'll only run all your script. Will they give? Yes, will they give? If they give, what will happen? If any hacker, all their data, everything, it will do. So so they're telling this constraint is only one, that is optional. All 5 constraints are mandatory, but this last constraint is dependent. If the server people don't want to give, they can tell no. Okay, so these are the 6 constraints on which this REST architectural constraint is. That is, it follows client server model. Okay, it is stateless. Okay, it is stateless. That is, each request response is independent of each other. Third, cacheable. Some request only is cacheable, okay, in temporary memory, so that every time you need not contact to server. But all cannot be cacheable. Some are non-cacheable also, like sensitive data. Then layered system. That is, layered system means all the functionalities are arranged in layers, and what is there? See, each component cannot see beyond the immediate layer. So if you have 7 layers, only if this layer is there, above and below layer we can see. Okay, more than that it cannot see. So it will be not having more functionality to do. Next is, all client server in the communication network should have uniform interface. Then if server wants, they can give the code. Okay, but this is an optional constraint. Okay, and next comes, this was about REST API. Now next we'll see RESTful web service. This is different. REST API is independent, but when you want to use it as web service, okay, when you want it to use for communication, you have to take the support of some other protocol. Okay, REST is just a principle or a API. Okay, to use it for communication, it will become RESTful web service. Okay, one functionality you have seen, no, service. Okay, just go through that. So if you want to use it as RESTful web service for a communication, which is an web API, okay, it is implemented. That time we cannot use only REST, we have to take the help of HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So if you use HTTP, you have to use all HTTP commands, get, put, post, all those things. Okay, so these are the commands. HTTP methods, you remember? Get, okay, get collection URI means it will take all the resources in the collection. Element means only a resource. Post was there, put was there, delete was there. Again, what is the parameter? Based on that, it will vary. So any doubts you have in HTTP method, you have already studied in web, so I'm not going in detail. Okay, so when we are using RESTful web service, what will happen? We use what? We use both your REST principle and HTTP. Okay, so RESTful web service is a web API implemented using HTTP. Remember, only REST principle we cannot use when it is REST based web service. REST is just a principle or just a API. To use it as web service, we have to use HTTP and REST. Okay, so it shows the communication between client and server using REST API. Okay, So how has REST follows which constant? Client's request response. It is as good as client and server. Okay. So this figure shows the communication between client and server using REST API. So client, what it will do? It will request. So how it will request? Using HTTP methods and followed by a payload of REST. Okay. HTTP request will be either get, put, post, update, delete. Okay. And your REST will be either payload will be in the form of JSON or XML. So it will go to server. Server will respond in JSON or XML. Again, whatever you want, same thing. Okay. HTTP plus REST. Both principle will follow and send the request. Server will respond in JSON and XML. Okay. So RESTful web service is a collection of resources. Okay. So in RESTful web service, there are resources. All the resources are represented by a unique identity. That unique identity is known as URI, Uniform Resource Indicator. Okay. So the client send request to the URI using the method. Again, here REST is taking the support of HTTP. So HTTP commands are there apart from REST payload. Okay, REST data request goes in the form of HTTP method. So these are different HTTP methods. So any doubts you have? So today we studied only what we have studied is there is IoT communication API. In that two are there, REST based communication API and WebSocket. REST is connectionless, so all the rules of connectionless it follows. Okay, WebSocket is connection oriented. Again, to use REST based communication API in web service, we have to take the help of HTTP. So all the requests will go in the form of HTTP methods. Attached to that will be a payload of REST. Okay, we studied all this REST based API. Anyone want to tell anything? This is the communication with REST API. Again, client will be there, server will be there, middle packet will be there, and with the server resources will be attached. Then these are the 6 constraints. Mandatory are 5, which is optional. Code on demand. So client server, stateless, cacheable, layered, uniform, code on demand. Okay, and to make a REST based web service, we have to use HTTP and REST principle. Okay, so let's see some of the question answers. Filling the blanks are there. API stands for, what does API?
Application Program Interface.
Yes, application programming interface. Second one, dash is a set of architecture principle by which we can design web service and web API. Which are those?
REST-based communication.
Yes, REST it is. Third one, RESTful web service is a web API implemented using dash and dash. How to implement?
HTTP and REST.
Yes, you're right. REST and HTTP both together. If you use, you'll have a full web service. REST stands for
Representational State Transfer.
Representational State Transfer Protocol. REST API follow the dash architecture, which communication?
Request response.
Yes, request response. That was for the day. Any doubts you have? So for 10 marks it will come. Just can you see syllabus copy?
No, ma'am.
You can't see?
No, ma'am.
Okay, once more I'll show. Now can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in logical design, these all we have completed. IoT functional block, communication API. Then tomorrow we will complete that WebSocket. Then we will go to IoT enabling technology. Okay. So we'll see any important questions on that today's topic. Here is there. Explain IoT. Don't get confused. Communication model means 4 are there. This is communication API. Okay. You should write about REST. Tomorrow I'll be telling you about WebSocket. Both are big topic. About both you have to write it. Okay. That is only one question asked on this. One more is there. Explain architectural constraints of REST. Which are those? 6 are there. Okay. One is request response, then What is there next?
Client server.
Yes. Request response and client server are same.
Stateless.
Stateless,
Stateless. Cache cable layer system.
cacheable,
Uniform
layered. Okay. Code on
Code
demand.
demand.
Okay. And what was one more? Yes.
Uniform.
Uniform interface. Those all things you have to explain. So any other doubts you have?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. We will see you later.